It's just not about the things, and it's not about being comfortable that's going to bring us happiness and contentment. It's actually embracing challenges as a fundamental part of the journey is going to be what is going to make you happy. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Earn Your Happy podcast. It's time for another quickie because there's always time to fit in inspiration. And I have been thinking so much about my relationship with challenge. And that has brought me to a place where I am really thinking about humans' relationship with challenge. And it's really a topic that is near and dear to my heart because it has been my entire journey. So today I want to share why avoiding challenges will actually rob you of the joy that you're after and the joy that you deserve. Because we know that we're all on this journey of seeking happiness and fulfillment and really trying to figure out our purpose. And so many of us think that by avoiding discomfort, that's what the whole world is about, right? Like everything that we do and everything that we see is about how we can make ourselves more comfortable, how we can indulge more, how we can go get the things, except they're not showing the other side that it's just not about the things and it's not about being comfortable that's going to bring us happiness and contentment. It's actually embracing challenges as a fundamental part of the journey is going to be what is going to make you happy. So that's why I love chatting about this on the Earn Your Happy podcast, is because I used to deal with so much anxiety and depression. And I just realized there are a whole lot of things that I was avoiding that were actually causing this. It wasn't who I was fundamentally. It was a side effect of something that I was doing and something that I was thinking. And that is what put me back in the driver's seat of my life. So I wanted to do actual research around this. I wanted to know like the science of what our brain is doing around challenges and why this is something that is so important for us to all change our belief system around challenges and the belief around challenges. So there is something around dopamine with the joy of accomplishment, meaning there's going to be dopamine released around accomplishment. So you know that rush of just feeling so proud when you've achieved something that you've really worked hard on, that's actually your brain's reward system at play. Because when we conquer challenges, our brain releases dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. So it's like a natural high that's going to come from your brain saying, you did it. So there's so much of this that I've experienced in this last year that it's been the most challenging year of my life. But I've also simultaneously felt, no brainer here, now that you know this research, that it has been the most rewarding year of my life. So if you avoid challenges, you're actually missing out on that feeling of pride, which when people say, wow, how did you get your confidence? It's like, because I've decided to make myself proud and face these challenges, because this rush of dopamine is going to come from accomplishing something meaningful to you. So the next one is learning how to build your self-confidence. So if you really look at self-confidence like your backbone, it's truly the backbone of having like a joyful life. And when you tackle challenges head on, you're actually building up your backbone or building that foundation brick by brick. And if you look at it like bricks, the more challenges that you conquer, the stronger that wall, the stronger your backbone is going to be. Because that's really, really how I started looking at it, is if I want to start feeling strong, if I want to be something that is unshakable, how many bricks am I going to have to use to build a foundation, to build a structure that's truly like, hey, you know what? I did that. I brick 45 over there. I already faced that. I already know what's coming. I already know what I'm capable of doing. Brick 242, I've already done this. I understand that this is going to be rough, but I know that I can do it because I've had that experience. So you're really building your self-confidence one experience at a time. And
hey, y'all. I'm so excited to share with you that this podcast, Earn Your Happy, is now a part of the Growth Day Podcast Network. Truly, this is like one of the most exciting things that has ever happened to me. I'm telling you, I no longer feel like I'm doing this alone, and I actually get to collaborate with the people who host the podcast that I'm obsessed with, like that I have been listening to myself, who inspired me to start a podcast, who have taught me about how to go and do the thing, like the original people who got me motivated through listening to their podcasts. You guys, a bunch of us are coming together to bring more growth to the world and to support shows and brands that we believe in. And one of my friends are also on this network, and I'd love for you to go subscribe to their show. You guys, I just had Danielle Canty on of the Boss Babe podcast. She co-hosts it with her other amazing co-host and one of my friends, Natalie Ellis. You guys, you can go check out that podcast on mine. It's episode 925, and Danielle and I talk all about burnout and how that could be showing up in your life, and most importantly, how to prevent it. But I want to tell you, if you have not gone and checked out the Boss Babe podcast yet, go subscribe, because it is one of the largest online communities for ambitious women and female entrepreneurs. And I know that if you're listening to the show, chances are that's probably you. You guys, they have 3.6 million followers and 380,000 subscribers. The Boss Babe podcast is the place where they share real behind the scenes of building successful businesses, achieving peak performance, and learning how to balance it all. Most of all, you guys, truly, these women are in my life. Danielle and Natalie are people that I text on a weekly, monthly basis when I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel stuck. What should I do? I tune into their podcast, you guys, to learn. Even though they're my friends, I am still like crazy obsessed with this podcast because I learn something new every single time I listen. It makes me be a better podcaster. It makes me be a better businesswoman. It just makes me be better and more confident out in the world because they're so real and raw. And I can tell you that in the moments where I have had horrible days, down days, I've either gone and listened to this podcast or I've texted them, because these are the people who truly get it. You want to listen to the people who are walking in the same footsteps that you are. You guys, go check out the Boss Babe podcast. You're not going to be sorry. And it's just going to like make you way smarter, and you're going to have way more fun. So go check it out.
The next thing I want to talk about is a lot of people feel bored or anxious or exhausted. And I actually think that that is from having the same routine. I think it's because you're not bringing in fresh energy and you're not finding new challenges that you love, because avoiding challenges leads to a stagnant, monotonous life. And so if you're feeling that right now, you really have to know that you're either going to continue to watch that movie on repeat, or you're going to start inviting new challenges in and new experiences. And with this is going to come new growth and new excitement and new stories that you can share. And you're actually going to feel like an interesting person. Have you ever been invited somewhere and you're like, God, I just feel like I don't have a lot to say to this person. They're like so awesome. They're, maybe a mentor of mine. I feel like I'm just so boring or I have nothing to offer them. New experiences and new challenges give you confidence, and it gives you things to talk about. I'm telling you, when I am doing new things, I don't sit there and worry about what I'm going to say. I just have things to add. And I also sit and know that being a good listener is a big part of that too. But you know that you actually have interesting things to say and add value. So if you're really seeking joy, don't shy away from these new experiences as well. Even if it doesn't feel like a huge challenge, but if it's a new workout class or maybe a dance class, like these things are interesting. When Chris and I did ballroom dancing 3 times a week for 4 years, we had really hilarious stories to share all of the time and really unique learnings that come with what happens when a couple learns ballroom dance together. And just the entire foundation of dance is really interesting in and of itself to break down. So you want to make sure that you're really cultivating your growth through putting all of these challenges together. So let's talk about resilience. Have you ever noticed how resilient people just seem to be able to get through pretty much any time that's going on in the world or anything that life throws at them? I want you to think back to when the pandemic was going on. There were some people who just seemed like they were on their feet right away, or they had ideas for other people of how to get through, or they just seemed like it wasn't hitting them or affecting them as much as other people. And I know that this is because they have faced challenges, maybe not like that, but similar, right? That were really, really challenging, that they had to flex that resilience muscle, that they had built it up. So they had things to grab from. They had tools that they used mentally to face these things. They probably built up their network so that they had resilience through their network of other positive people who also had these tools. And they tapped into that rather than tapping into places of fear, but instead places of possibility. So building up that resilience and knowing that you get that resilience piece, that is also going to make you happy, because without resilience, we aren't happy. So this is just your reminder to really start looking at challenges as the way. It is literally how you earn your happy. It's how you become that person that you want to be. And if you don't have these already in your life, which trust me, you do, when you start looking, you're going to have challenges that you can start using as the weights, as the resistance that will make you stronger. So instead of looking at them as, I need to run from that, or I want to avoid that, it's how can I take that challenge and make it work for me? How can I use this to make me better? How can I learn from this lesson? How can I see this as making me better and building my backbone, even though I don't like it? You don't have to like it. You're not going to like it. I don't love it. I don't like mean comments. I don't like hard things. I don't like feeling like I'm stupid because I can't solve things, but I view it differently. I view it as the thing that's going to make me stronger. So if you don't happen to have these things in your life, like if you're so afraid of public speaking, but you want to be a speaker and you're like, I don't really have the things to practice on, go find a Toastmasters. Go see if there's any small local things that you can start volunteering at or speaking at. Go create some, maybe like a Zoom meeting amongst friends and start a book club where you're leading it and you're just starting to talk. Maybe get together a dinner of 4 to 6 women where you're facilitating it and you stand up in front of them and you give a toast and you say the topic of conversation that you want to go around the table and discuss. Start manufacturing the things that feel like a challenge that would make you nervous in small ways so that you can start showing up to the big things as you notice that these get better. So I can honestly tell you that I am not a person that identifies with massive anxiety or depression at all anymore, because I have done so many of these things that really don't make me sit in that feeling of fear, or not feeling like I'm capable, or not feeling like I'm smart, or not feeling like I'm a person who's interesting. Because when you face challenges, that is how you become that person. So now I have the confidence. Now when big things come up, I know I can get through it because I've done the small thing, right? And then that is all added up. I have all of those bricks that say you've done this before. So you guys, I hope that you go and you manufacture challenges around your fears. I hope you find them. I hope you create them. I hope that somehow you get some sick satisfaction off of knowing that these are the exact things that are going to build you and make you better and make you more confident and make you happier. So it's so counterintuitive. People think that being happy is like, oh, I went to my favorite restaurant and ordered my favorite things. If you have a whole life of that, you're actually going to be totally miserable, because that is not the building blocks of what makes a human happy. So go seek the challenges. And I promise you, the more often that you do them, the happier you're going to notice that you actually are. And it's a happiness that feels sustainable. You're not going to be like, oh my God, I feel like I can't hold on to this, and be afraid that when you are happy, it's not going to be there, because you're actually going to know the formula to being happy. So I'm sending you guys so much love. If you have somebody in your life who's really struggling, maybe not trying anything new, and you know that this could be something that could really just give them that little loving kick in the butt to say, hey, it's time to go out there and start manufacturing some of these challenges so that you can feel better about yourself and create that confidence that you need. I'm sending you so much love. And until next time, earn your happy. Bye, everyone. Hey y'all, I'm so excited to share with you, Earn Your Happy is now part of Growth Day Podcast Network. A bunch of us are coming together to bring more growth to the world and support shows and brands that we truly believe in. And one of my friends is also on the network, and I'd love for you to go subscribe to his show. You guys, Trent Shelton has the most incredible podcast. It's called Straight Up with Trent Shelton, and it's going to remind you that you are built for this. I have heard Trent speak in person multiple times. I've listened to his podcast a ton. He's coming on the show, and I literally cannot wait, because this man just spits straight fire. It is like truth that goes to your core and makes you take action right away. If you want one of those podcasts that when you're just out on a walk, you can't help but want to start running and run through a wall in your life, this is the show to go listen to. So you guys make sure that you go subscribe to the show, Straight Up with Trent Shelton. You're going to love it.
Hey, I know if you're listening to this podcast that you have big dreams and big goals. And one of the things that can really stop you is struggling with your marketing. Trust me, I have been there. Are you using 10 different systems just to build your online business? Then I want you to try Kajabi. Kajabi helps you build your web pages, set up funnels, and sell your courses, content, coaching, or communities. You've been hearing me talk a lot about funnels on this podcast and the importance of your email list. You can get a free trial at kajabi.com. That's Kajabi.com. I've talked about Kajabi before, but here's something that's super cool and new. They just rolled out an AI assistant for creating your online course curriculum. And this means you just type in a topic that you want to create on a course or webinar and bam, it just generates a sample outline for you. It takes a ton of the hard work away. Of course, you're going to customize it to be your own, but this really helps you get over the struggle of how in the world to start, which is where most people stop. If you're like me, starting is always the hardest part, and that's what makes Kajabi so popular. They've made it easier for creators to build web pages, build courses, build coaching programs, build membership sites, build checkout pages, and build email funnels. So if you're struggling with any of those, you got to go check it out. Go to Kajabi.com. Kajabi was really the first all-in-one system and is trusted by over 100,000 creators. I think that's good enough for me. Also, as influencers and marketers who use this. And now their smart AI platform makes it easy to take what you know and turn it into an online course and business. Go start building with a free trial at Kajabi.com. That's Kajabi.com.